Hey, welcome back. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what, Cody? You should do the intro. You haven't done it in forever.
Yeah. All right. This is the intro. Welcome to it. Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast. Welcome back to... Nope, that doesn't work.
With the boys.
Okay, you get a retry. Let's try it again.
What do you say after that? Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast. I'm here with Richie, Graham, and Luke.
No.
And this is episode 76.
All right,
let me do this again. I got this.
I forgot how difficult it is if you're not used to doing it. It's like robotic for me.
I know. Hey, welcome back to... Oh, I guess...
Oh, this is great.
I got this. Hold on. 5, 4... Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast, and this is episode 57. I almost said 56, but it's not. Today, it's just the boys. It's just a boys episode, you know? We got Luke, Graham, and fucking Richie. Shit, forgot the boys and myself.
We're supposed to wait 5 minutes before we get into the swearing. God damn it, Cody.
So we had a guest that was supposed to come on, but he had problems with getting the app when, I don't know, we tried to figure it out, couldn't work. So instead of just waiting forever, we figured we would just hop on and shoot the shit with you guys.
And we'll work this week and try to get him on for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do want to talk to him.
He's going to be at the end of this, and we don't even fucking know yet. A little bit of editing magic, and you guys will find out, but we won't know. But yeah, we have no plans. We're just gonna shoot the shit, talk about Jeep stuff, and figure something out. We'll make it happen. We do have a run coming up on the 5th. I just got word that there's going to be 15 people there. Was not expecting that. It was supposed to be like a small little run, and has turned into a full-size invasion at this point. It feels like.
No, I'm pretty sure that's already trademarked and copyrighted. I don't think you can use that term. It's not a full-size invasion. Also, Jeep Cherokees aren't full-size vehicles to begin with. They're
oh my god! I didn't mean it that way. Like, oh my god! Full-scale invasion.
There you go. There you go.
I don't even know if it counts as full-scale. It's more like mid-size mediocrity.
Well, I mean, a lot of you guys haven't actually done anything. I'm not trying to throw shade here. Nobody's gone out and done stuff in the past few months, and winter time is, kind of around here at least. It's the quiet season. We still do stuff occasionally, but it's not going to be frequent. It's actually, I was surprised at some of the people who are going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with the people who are driving out that far just for Mabel. Like, that to me is pretty surprising because most people.
I mean, I'm driving how long? Stupid long, just to sit
2 hours.
There. It's 2.5.
You're going to drive my Jeep, so it'll be okay. You'll have something to do.
And I'm taking the J20 because otherwise it'd be boring. Like, I'm not driving it up, but I'm going to take it to the bottom.
Good. So we're going to be waiting extra long for you, is what you're saying.
Only if it breaks. And it won't break. It's been doing great. I just fixed a bunch of shit on it. It's good.
Nice.
It's a good egg.
Well, hopefully it treats you well and you get there on time. Because
I drove it to Vermont.
The last time we did a Marbella trip, what happened to you? You didn't wake up.
Well, yeah, that was. I don't know. I didn't wake up.
Or no, it was either that or something happened because I know that you and Jacob, or you showed up later than expected for some reason. I can't remember.
I mean, I remember not showing up on time. I don't remember why. But yeah. I was like buttoning things up at the last moment because it was like I had tried to make the event the month before and I couldn't. I'm sure we talked about this in a podcast too. I just don't know which number it would be.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, the crunch on that. It was just trying to get everything done for that one run. Didn't work out, and then I never should have set myself up for the failure of that anyways, because then it just sort of demotivated me and I needed to finish it anyways for the next runs that were continuing to come up, and I was going to continue to miss if I didn't get out of my funk there. And it was last minute, mostly worked. Trials by fire on that podcast, not podcast, transfer case. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
That was the
immediately
first.
drove it 2.5 hours. And
That
then
was the first
popped my
time
belt.
that you ran that, and you found out that you were low on fluid, right?
Uh,
There was
it
something.
wasn't low. I
Something.
mean, it was a little low. Yeah, it was. It was making more noise than I wanted. It still makes more noise than I want. I'm part of this whole winter rebuild is going to be tweaking that a little bit more. I think I need more shims on that idler gear, and just other little random bullshit. But yeah, that was fun.
Let's hope that doesn't happen this time. Let's hope everything is smooth
What are you
sailing.
talking about? The J20 is unmolested by me, at least. I've only been fixing it. It's only getting better. It has heat now. It's got, a proper functioning EFI system, assuming the exhaust bolts don't wiggle loose. I need to get the proper ones with the springs that hold tension. They keep heating and cooling, and then the nuts loosen up, and then I have to tighten them. But at
What
least
about
it actually
Loctite or something?
it gets too hot. I'm pretty sure Loctite
Wow.
loses its strength when it gets warm. So
Baby well? Duct tape.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with red, but red's gonna be a bitch if it decides that it actually wants to lock up.
no, I don't want it to ever come on. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
You say that until you get a new motor.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a. I've got that transmission. I don't know if have we talked about the transmission I got.
No, you have not. At least not that I've heard.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to steal this whole beginning.
No,
section
yeah,
here,
do your
but,
thing. Do your
I
thing.
picked up a NV4500 with a really interesting setup. It's a NV4500 with a 4.0 bell housing, so it would bolt up to a 4.0. It's got the all the linkages from advanced adapters to make that work with that transmission, I guess.
Didn't the NV4500s come in not the LJs, yeah, the LJs and the TJs though? The late models? No?
It's the truck transmission, like you'd find in a Chevy or a
I
Dodge.
forget what, there definitely is a transmission that is from an older.
NV3550
Oh.
is from the LJ, or that's the newer 5-speed that they would put in the 2000, 2000
Six.
and up? No,
6-speed.
2000s and up. No, the 6-speed is different too. I don't know what that one's called. I forget.
I swear that was an
I saw one.
NV4500.
I don't remember the numbers and letters that it is, but it's not the 3500. The 3550 replaces the AX15 past 99. Because my Jeep is a 2000, it's supposed to have that 3550, but it doesn't. So, anyways, I've got the NV4500, and it's got the bell housing for the 4.0 and the transfer case adapter for a.
So,
I think he said a 300. Hold on,
yep.
but I'm pretty sure the 300 and the 231 bolt patterns are the same. He seemed to think that it would work. I'm not 100% sure. I checked the spline count. It is 23 spline. Now, I don't know anything about the Jeep 208 transfer case, the NP 208, but that's what I have in the J20. So, knowing what I know, and I'm pretty sure I know that the AMC 360 has the same bell housing bolt pattern as a 4.0, and from what I understand, you can machine a flywheel for a 4.0, or yeah, I think it's the 4.0 flywheel. You can machine it so it's unbalanced like a AMC V8 flywheel, and put that on, and then I can bolt the existing advanced adapter set up to that, and then I'd have a manual, a semi-modern manual transmission in my J truck. I've got the pedal assembly already. All the pieces are starting to line up. I just need to do it. And then I'm going to piss Colin off because he's still going to have an automatic Jeep and he hasn't clicked any parts. And he's like, why are you spending time and money on the J20? He's like, I'm not. These things are falling in my lap. Like, this guy was literally 15 minutes from the shop in Beverly.
Wow.
Like, it was an exit down. It was a no-brainer. And he wanted...
How much?
12. But the thing is, the transmission rate...
1,200?
Yes.
1,200?
The advanced adapters kit alone is $900. It's a Dodge transfer case, or a Dodge transmission with the Chevy first gear. I don't know if it's got the fifth gear nut fix. I'd have to look, but it's out. It's sitting on the ground. I could do the fifth gear nut fix or figure out what that is. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but it's been built. It was in a Jeep. It was used in off-road situations. It's I don't know. It's It was a good deal. I'm
All right.
convinced. To bolt up
$1,200 is
to-
a lot from what I was expecting when you're
No.
For an
it was-
NV4500, that's like walking out the door with it without even paying for it with the advanced adapters kit on there.
Wow.
They're expensive.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected. And to correct myself earlier, it was the NSG 3750 is the 6-speed manual that came in the TJs. I thought it was the NVs, but it was not.
Yeah, those are weird. I had to drive one a couple weeks ago, and it was, I don't know, just having that extra gear is odd.
I didn't know
Really
that the
like them.
TJs had a 6-speed.
Yep.
They did.
0506 manuals were so the TJs and LJs, or the TJU technically. The manuals
No, it's
were
not called a
60.
TJU.
Yes, it is. It's the first ever unlimited vehicle to TJU. So a TJ Unlimited.
What makes it unlimited?
The LJ, the extended body.
Why is it called an unlimited and not an LJ?
So LJ is not the proper actual body
That's
tag
not
for
that's
it.
not the Jeep code.
Correct. It's
That's
TJU.
just a made up one.
Yeah, it's
like
what people just
long
long
Jeep.
Jeep. That's exactly why.
a long Jeep.
That's why everybody
Well, they
thinks
should've just done that. That's
or like a
regular.
Manchi MJ. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Well,
that
I'm
style.
pretty sure an MJ is that not the body code?
No, that is also what I'm saying. So people were like, "Oh, Manchi
okay.
Jeep." Okay, long Jeep. Okay.
it's a Comanche, not a Manchi. People.
Who knows? You're right. That doesn't make sense. You're right. It's a CJ. Fuck.
No,
but like,
pretty taken. Yeah.
so that's pretty rad. So I really hope that works out for you, because that'd be pretty dope. And Colin could suck a fart out your ass if he wants to get jealous about the 6-speed.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm concerned that the clutch pedal linkage is going to be the biggest pain in the ass. Assuming the transmission actually bolts up to the motor, which I'm not going to really know until. I mean, I guess I could. No, I'm 99% sure that it'll just bolt up, but I'm sure there will be other little things in the way. So
There's always other little
see.
things.
So why that instead of an AX15? Just because you're expecting to have a little bit more beef to it, or?
well, I don't know. I figure if I ever change it up in the future, motor-wise, if I decide I want to do an LS or something, I can. I already have the transmission. I don't need to. I'd have to just find a bell housing, which finding a factory LS bell housing. I don't know how hard that is. Maybe I'm being stupid. Worst case, I just sell the transmission for what I bought it for and lose no money, and already have the thing set up as a manual for whatever transmission I throw into it. So.
No, that'll be perfect. I think that'll do well for you. Shit, that's exciting. And you're hoping to get this project done by when?
It's not high on my
Monday.
priority list. It's
Oh, sorry.
no go.
So quick Googling right there. It appears that the difference might be depending on what input shaft is in it, you might have to just change out the pilot bushing or bearing, and it will work with an LS if you change the adapter to a Chevy bell housing.
Yeah, I'd have to change the input shaft probably and the bell housing.
It might
to make
just
it
be the
work.
bushing, depending on which year you've got. I don't know off the top of my head the difference, but
Well, I'm pretty sure the advanced adapters kit comes with the input. I'm not 100%. Again, it's like there's a couple different kits you can get from advanced adapters to do it all. So I'm not sure which one this is. I'm sure there's a part number somewhere that I could look up, but I haven't.
Either way,
much to it. It's floating
cool
around.
shit.
Yeah. There's something, but anyways, yeah, it's not high on my priority list because my priority right now is to get the other projects that are in my plate or on my plate out of the way and get the Cherokee in, or at least the axle in, so I can start prepping the new axle and put that together, and then bring the Jeep in and do that, which is going to be just the start of a giant shit show, I'm sure. And we'll see if it's done by the beginning of spring. I have a feeling it won't be, but we'll see.
So speaking of axles, you want to tell the people the mistake you made?
I made.
Yeah. What did the truss?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not. It's just one of those sad mistakes that everybody has made. Over the Black Friday sales, I put a Barnes truss from Barnes for the 10.5 in the cart, and I thought I bought it. And I got some stuff from Rough Stuff today for the front diff, and I was like, I wonder where that barn stuff is. I don't know if I ever got the email for that. And sure enough, there's nothing in my list. Go to the site. There's my cart with my truss in it, just chilling.
And is that a leaf spring truss, or is that for a 4-link?
I'd be a 4-link, but I could do whatever with it.
Oh, so yeah,
that's part of why I'm not sure it'll be done by the beginning of spring, because I don't know. I don't know what my plan is for the back yet, honestly.
4-link.
You thinking that might be the play?
I don't know. I might just cut the whole back out of it before Colin does
Oh,
his.
you weren't here for that after show, were you?
No, I was dealing with some shit.
We were yelling at him to go 4-link. Or I was yelling at him, and Kish was being quiet in the corner.
Yeah. Although I do think 4-link is the way.
Fucking lame. Your leaves work. Get
They
the
do
fucking
work.
front done. Your front has more pressing things going on with it.
I just
Yeah,
don't like
but-
the way the back sits, and if I'm doing the 60 in the front, I'm going to run 40s. I don't know if I'm going to run the stickies that I've got on it, just because of they're honestly as big as the 37s. They're tiny. They're really small, and they don't hold air very well either. So it's sort of like
Crawlers,
worst of
that
ev-
was a given.
Yes, and it's actually only 2 of them don't hold air very well. The other ones are fine.
All right, so the other ones just need a couple weeks, and then they'll decide that they're done.
Oh, yeah.
Ross
I don't-
Davis.
Huh?
Sorry. You
No,
know who
continue.
Ross Davis is?
Yes, I do.
His rig would piss air like over the week. It would just be sitting down on its rims again.
Yeah, that's basically what mine does. I fill it up every couple days because the 2 corners just sag. Yeah.
Wait, are
the
they
tow guys
the
make fun of me.
same
They're
side
like,
or opposite corners?
Opposite corners.
Oh, so the Jeep just wants to flex a little.
Yeah, and the tow guys make fun of me. They're like, oh, your tires are going flat. It's like, oh yeah, you can help me fill them up sometime. Just if you see them going flat, while I'm not there, just fill them up. That'd be great. So it keeps the the front of the shop bay looking nice and not like a trash heap.
Shithole.
But I think once you try them off road, you're gonna be like, "Yep, nope, this is the play."
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta redo those beadlocks. I'm not sure. So, if anybody has any insight on this, I picked up the Battleborn Beadlocks. Now, from their website, and maybe I should call them too. I probably should. They say that if the bead is 3/4 inches, or I think if it's they say if it's more than 3/4 of an inch thick, that you need to use their spacers, which is like a little maybe 3/16 to 1/4 of an inch thick piece of plastic that goes in between the bolts and the ring.
On the inside?
It's kind of like an anti-coning ring to keep the bead from, or the ring from bending and putting side load on the bolts. And the crawler bead is not 3/4 of an inch thick, but it's really stiff, or maybe at least mine are, because these things are old. And who knows? Maybe the tires might just disintegrate the first time I use them. They didn't. I drove it down the road like a little bit. It was fine, but I am noticing.
Dude, clapped crawlers are like the play.
I know. My concern is they're not sitting how I want them on the actual bead, even though they should be. Like everything I've read as far as, actually clamping those things down, so it's flush on the actual seat of the wheel. Mine aren't doing that, and I would spend like an hour each beadlock getting these things to go down even, and they just don't go down quite even. Like I'm looking at them now that it's been sitting for a while. I'm like, okay, that's not completely down. And I was doing some research when I was actually doing it, and like, okay, well they say 18, but I called them and they said that 20 was fine to get it down further. And I don't know. I definitely need to redo them. I just don't know if I need to use those spacers or not, because I shouldn't have to, because it's less than 3/4 of an inch thick. It's not even like a question. It's not even at 3/4. It's slightly less than 3/4 of an inch, but it still doesn't clamp right. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but trying to figure that out. So I'm going to have to waste another 4 hours taking them off and putting them back on. Not looking forward to that.
Yeah, you should. But you think about it. The more often you do it, the quicker you'll get. You got this.
No, it's
It'll
not
be fine.
It's not a quick process. How many bolts are on each of those? It's like
I couldn't tell you.
it's like 20. I want to say it's 24, maybe more. Yeah, it's just a long time.
Fine.
You gotta torque them like evenly down to 10, and then evenly down to 18, and it takes a long ass time.
Exactly. You'll get faster.
I have to get a better technique. From what I understand, I was doing it wrong by crisscrossing completely and not doing groups on each side and bouncing around. But I don't know. That seems.
Just make a little jig and hook it up to a power drill.
Oh, and
do
just throw
all
them
in
down at
one
once?
shot. Yeah, do all of
there
them
you
in
go.
one shot.
Okay, that sounds expensive. I'm gonna need a lot of those, Milwaukee like 1/4-inch drivers, but 24.
20 of them.
All right.
would
Someone wants
you
to fund
hold
this. I'll
them?
build the jig. Somebody get me some.
Then you have to rewire them all to run off one switch, and then you have to have 20 friends or like 10 friends holding them all. That'll be great.
Well, hear me out. Center drive.
You mean
Put a
like
big old gear in there.
Oh. Yeah, but how am I going to accurately torque them down to 18 foot-pounds each?
math?
I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, because gear reduction is just math.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah,
You can
so
do
all
this.
we would have to do would be figure out, like, theoretically what the ratio would be, and then set the torque wrench for, like, 1 pound.
Man,
Just do the math, boy.
instantly turn over like 1 centimeter. Just beep, done. Move on.
I feel like it wouldn't be very accurate at that point. I don't know if a torque wrench. You'd need like an inch-pound wrench, and you need to convert it. Because otherwise, it just wouldn't have any resistance.
I got snap on.
We gotta be careful. We're gonna end up getting back on the Total Off-Road podcast, getting shit on.
True. We can't talk about hypotheticals because then we're just retards, So we can't say that.
Then people on RockShox that go and are like, "Well, I heard somebody say that you're supposed to use a cooler for your doubler." It's like, no. We said Cody didn't know how doublers worked, and he was like, "Well, do you need to cool it?" That's a valid question. Do you? I don't know. I don't think anybody keeps track of their fluid heat.
Shout out to that guy. You know what I did just find out? That a gear-driven transfer case uses gear fluid, and then a chain-driven transfer case uses ATF. How weird is that? You guys probably knew that, but I didn't know that. So
when I first heard that, I was like, huh. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense.
yeah, but why ATF? It's barely like a proper lubricant. It's
just spraying the needle bearings.
yeah, but it's more of a hydraulic fluid than it is a lubricant. So what the fuck's the point of it?
I mean, 205s you can run with transmission fluid. Everybody, or not everybody, I should say, because there are people who say it's fine. But generally, from what I understand, and this is all internet bullshit, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But from what I've read,
hey, we are internet bullshit. You remember that? You talk about us nicely, Mister. Okay. God. Give us a little respect on the name.
What made sense to me after doing a lot of research trying to figure out what the fuck my 205 was supposed to take is whatever's in front of it, you should use the same fluid from that into the other one, right? Because if you were to ever have a leak in between that input shaft seal, it's going to dump all the fluid into the 205.
Yep.
So you might as well have it be the same. So if it's leaking, then it just, your transmission may run out of fluid, or your EcoBox might, but at least the 205's not a soup. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right way to think about it either, because then, if you ever drain the 205 and you see transmission fluid in with your gear oil, that's one way to go about it. But I don't know. That makes sense to me.
Tubes, because technically, if it would overfill, then I guess you would know. But either way,
yeah.
So I was always told that if it uses a brass bushing anywhere in there, like the 205 does, it gets gear oil because it needs a heavy lube.
Yeah.
Even though
the later model 205s, they ran ATF in them. That I know is that. 90% sure that's fact, is they used ATF in the later model 205s for better or worse. Earlier model ones, they did use most of them had 80, 90 or whatever it was. And that's what I run on mine. I just
5 weight 140.
I do know on machines with their gearboxes.
Oh yeah, Richie. I feel like you're up. No, maybe you and Luke. Both of you are in a better position to talk about
Luke's
this.
a moron.
Yeah, true.
No, I was just gonna say I know on machines that have brass inside their gearboxes, they normally get a heavier gear lube. Whereas if they don't have the brass inside the gearboxes, they're more likely to have a lighter gear lube.
Huh.
So
Well, there you go. That sounds like really all you have to go off of. Brass. Use gear oil.
yeah.
Listen, as long as you're not like some guys putting fucking water in. Like,
Yeah.
water. Cool
No, what are
stuff.
you talking about?
No!
No. My AX-15, synchros and all, works mint. It ran on water for like 600 miles home from Roush Creek, or however many miles it is. That was a lot of miles. Just water. A couple bottles full. We've gone over this before too. It's just my favorite story. Everybody's like, "What do I use in my AX-15?
Water.
Couple bottles
pussy.
of water? You'll be fine."
Disclaimer: you won't.
What are you talking about? It legitimately was fine. I had noticed no difference in how it was performing. It shifted fine. Now, granted, it was the summer. If it was the winter, you would have a frozen gearbox, which would not be fun.
No, he's fine. You just
wouldn't
gotta
move.
drive through it. You just gotta drive through it. You fuck the clutch. You just push through it.
Listen, as long as they're not stupid like the guy I saw in Torrington, I watched him pouring water into his motor because he wanted to clean out the sludge.
Well, it
While
sounds
it was
a totally
running.
valid reason to.
It's not good.
No, it's
Deep
fine.
cleaning.
Yeah, steam.
He had it running with the drain plug out and a garden hose going into the motor.
Ooh, that's one way to clean out your internals.
Now, for
fine.
future
Petrie.
reference, Torrington has a severe drug problem.
Oh,
Sure,
boy.
you're not the first person to do that.
Yeah, but steam cleaning works
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, steam cleaner. Steam cleaner motors and transmissions. I'd probably
Fine.
work on a 205 too. Honestly, I don't think those things need fluid to run.
Oh
The
god.
berries wouldn't be good, but you just pack them full of grease. There you go. Old school.
So, on a note of machine gearboxes, we've
Do we
got
need a disclaimer
problem.
for that? You shouldn't run your 205 without fluid. That would probably be
Probably
dumb.
not.
Yeah, no, nobody's gonna come at us. If they do, it's just like,
Oh no, I mean
you're
that's legitimate
stupid.
though. People do pack their differentials with grease. Like if they're, I don't know what the reasoning behind it is, but there are some rock crawlers that pack the diffs with grease. They don't use fluid.
You know,
Is that a thing?
this would have been a really good question to have asked Crazy K's, because if I remember right, that's a really big thing with the We Rock people. Like the moon buggies.
Mhm.
Because
Why-
you don't
why is
put a
that?
lot of speed on them.
Yeah, it's just because of the speed. But I don't. What's the benefit over running gear oil?
No mess if you have to pop the diff cover.
Well, if you built your diff right, you wouldn't have to pop the cover.
That's the only thing that came to my mind, but I do know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I just can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the use case.
Doesn't it help with heat dispersion in low speed applications?
I would think that the gear oil would do more, because think about this, right? Like when it comes to your power steering and that's heating up, if you have a larger system with a cooler on it, you have more to cool that system off and there's more fluid to heat up.
No, like I definitely agree with that. So, that's the only other thing I can think of as to why you would use grease.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something for heat or lubrication. It's more effective at the lower speeds.
Couldn't tell you, bud. That's not
Your guess
something
is
that
as
I.
good as ours.
Yeah.
I'll give you a fucking guess. All right.
What'd
Okay,
you say?
robot.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Robot Tote.
Call it the ISP.
I said I'll give you a fucking guess. All right.
There you go. That came through clear.
My
Oh,
guess is
God.
just that I'm bad.
All right.
It's a solid guess.
We've beat this horse to death.
Yeah, pull that out of our ass.
Next subject.
next subject.
Somebody
My
else
Jeep's
talk.
registered, so that's
nice.
good.
I heard you got it registered at the air gas.
Yes, I got it registered at the air gas. That is how that worked out. Thank you for that insight, Cody.
Oh,
That wasn't even podcasting. We were just talking, and Cody wasn't paying attention, and somehow going and getting his registration and the gas bottle was merged into one building, and Cody thought that air gas was giving out his registration.
Well, he said RMV. Okay, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah,
That's why
I said on my
questioned
way
it.
back from
I thought it was the
RMV.
DMV. Which one's is that? Just a mass? I thought RMV was the Massachusetts specific. It's DMV, right?
The town clerk registry of motor vehicles, which
Yeah,
is
Department
part
of
of
Motor-
the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay,
for
so
the
yeah, you've
state
got
of
DMVs.
Tennessee.
I don't know. That's all we have to say about
We've
that.
got it's RMVs, but they're part of the DMV.
Oh, good.
It's Tennessee for you.
Yeah.
But Connecticut managed to cuck me one last time, just because they had to. So registering my Jeep cost $1,420.
That's
ridiculous.
insane. Now, why?
Yeah, I had to. So my registration was in my Jeep, right? It was in the back seat in a bag, and
Why was it in the
condensation.
back seat in the bag?
Or it was behind the seat in a bag. Because I forget exactly why it got thrown there when it was getting moved, and
Mine
so
is very precarious because of Rush Creek when we sunk it. It's still
Yeah.
intact, but it is not. It's barely hanging on. So
mine
yeah, I
when
feel
you
your pain.
go, or I went to unfold it, and the paper stuck to itself with like that lovely ink blob going on, and I'm like, they're not going to accept this. So
It's gonna look like a
You know.
photocopy, even though it's the original.
it doesn't even look like a photocopy. It just looks like paper that got wet and the ink just ran everywhere. So it was unreadable.
Jesus.
So I went to the Connecticut, the DMV website, and I'm like, all right, let me just pull up my registration. Compliance issues. You owe taxes. So I'm like, okay, I'll call the town up and, I'll just pay my taxes. $1,300 for a pickup truck, a trailer, and the Jeep to get my stuff unlocked. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's paid. Called the DMV, was on hold with them with the confirmation number for my payment to unlock everything. And they're like, all right, you should be good. And I'm like, okay. So I went to go and log on. Nope. My vehicle, which is emissions exempt as of January of last year in Connecticut, had an emissions late fee because the emissions was due December 15th when it was emissions exempt January 1st. So I had to pay a $20 late fee on top of $1,300 in taxes just to get it unlocked, to be able to print a piece of paper.
I mean, I'm not surprised with you explaining to us that you can like register it for the rest of its life as like a ORHV or whatever the fuck it was, or OHRV or whatever the fuck you were saying. It makes sense that they're gonna try to cuck you as much as possible to just wean all the money out of it, you know?
This was all. I haven't even gotten to the RMV part yet. So this was all Connecticut. So I walked down there, and they're like, where's the title? I'm like, Connecticut doesn't issue titles. It's over 20 years old. Well, we need your title. I'm like, no, I have the letter from Connecticut. Oh, I don't know if we can accept that.
You can.
Had to wait for like 30 minutes while the ladies in the back came over to me a couple of times, and they're like, do you have the old title? And I'm like, no, I threw it out because it had a big old invalid out of date stamp on it. And Connecticut doesn't take title, or won't let you use titles over 20 years old. Oh, well, okay, well, we gotta go and talk about this some more. So she finally comes over, she enters it into the computer, she hits enter and it goes, and she's like, here's your plate, sir. And I was unable to get my garbage license plate.
What?
The wait time on it was going to be
Like 5 years.
5 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 to
And-
5 months is usually what it is.
Given the fact of wanting to wheel the Jeep, I didn't think that having a cardboard template that's set with a temporary license plate was a good idea. I just felt
Well,
like
at
it was
least you
going to
can
get
just
destroyed.
remake cardboard templates over and over again. My front plate
yeah.
just gets continually mangled.
So they only issue one plate, and I was like, well, what's it going to cost me to get the plate? And she goes, $29 and a $20 title fee. So I just did that, and my pickup truck was $60 because it was 40 and 20. So everything's registered down here now. A buddy of mine invited me to go to Windrock on Sunday, but I had friends from...
yeah, you can't make it to Windrock.
You want to come up to my bell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
sure.
on, make the drive.
No, I had not family, but I'm gonna call them family because I'm really close friends with the kid, and his parents were in town, and they invited us
fucking
over
his mom?
for dinner. No, his mom's a very
then.
nice lady, though. But
Then it's not family, man.
He is.
Sorry.
so I went to that instead of going to Windrock. There's going to be plenty of time for me to go.
Bro?
Oh God, no! Please no.
Stepmom stuck under the table again.
I was just fell out of my chair.
Fourth time this week.
Oh no. Gross.
So, in another more productive note, I was finally able to get my gas bottle exchanged, which is what sparked all this, and I got a phone call on my way back from the DMV saying that they were going to have it.
Your gas
So
bottle.
Yeah.
They got your registration and your gas bottles, boys.
So I stopped at this little mom and pop shop, and it cost
Called
me...
the DMV.
Yeah.
No, called
The
Aiken's
town
Gas
store, the
Company.
one store for the whole town. They sell everything: groceries, the DMV paperwork, gas bottles.
They got baby food and Plan B, whatever you need.
You ain't wrong about some of the stores here.
It's like, you want the baby, we got you. You don't want the baby, we got you too. We'll figure it out for you. We family.
Wait, Luke. So,
Get stuff.
do you have drive-through stores down there?
What, drive-through
What?
stores?
Yeah.
Yes. I was
What?
actually
Oh,
gonna bring
that's
that up.
awesome.
We
For your
have...
gas bottle? They just threw it in on the way by?
No, that's when you go to Hardee's and they just hook it out the window into the bed of your truck.
Oh, shit.
No, but we have a drive-through motor vehicle registration for after you get your tags. You just literally drive through with $28 and they come out and they slap a sticker on and you go down the road.
Wow, that's
No,
pretty
so, like,
cool.
a few years ago, Jess went down to Kentucky to visit family, and they had drive-through liquor stores.
Yeah, we've got drive-through liquor stores. We actually have drive-through grocery stores.
Yeah.
Do liquor stores here in Mass.
The further out into the country you go, the better the Dollar Generals get too. So there's like $1 General where, I shit you not, Cody, you're gonna laugh your ass off about this, but they got the baby food next to the condoms.
Oh my god. Jesus. So, but are things actually $1? You telling me I could get baby food for $1?
No.
No.
What the
Well-
fuck? Then why is it a Dollar General? It's a Walmart with a
Now,
yellow
you have to
fucking sign.
understand, the further out you go, the nicer the Dollar Generals get, and the more like Target they become. It's hilarious.
So do you not have Target? You have Dollar Generals?
We have a Target in Cleveland, but like if I'm going out into the far side of like Benton County or way into the Ocoee area,
Say that again?
you've got
Ocoee.
Ocoee.
Is that the name of it? Or you just
Yeah,
is that like
that's
a nickname?
No, that's the name. It's Ocoee.
Huh.
Ococee.
What the fuck? Who was drunk naming that town? What the
Belgians.
Belgians?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, alright.
And
They were
also
definitely
Native
drunk.
Americans. Very heavy mix of the two for our town names.
Interesting, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that again. But it looks like I'll be going to AOP and Windrock early March.
That'd
So
be
I'm
cool.
excited for that. I'm hoping to go with Trail Trash. I think next Friday or Saturday, I'm going to be going down and seeing them guys.
Ooh, finally, you get to make friends.
I know, right? Like, it takes a lot. Although,
Well, you made gun friends, but now it's time to make Jeep friends.
Yeah. No more
but
guns.
the cool part is, down here, your Jeep friends also can be gun friends.
Oh, hey, look at you. You're double dipping now. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Guns and jeeps.
Wow.
Anyways.
That's basically all I've got.
So
I
I did a.
Sorry.
Sorry, Cody.
Get in.
No, you,
Nope.
you go, Richie. That's all you, buddy. You start talking. You keep going, motherfucker.
I was doing some looking up online because I was actually curious, and the only benefit that I found for putting putting grease into your diff over oil is it's supposed to help cut down on the wear on your gears.
But it doesn't properly lubricate the bearings or anything like that.
Well, you pack the bearings, I would imagine.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
that was the main thing for putting grease in your diffs. I could be wrong. I suck at Googling shit, and I
so
admit
you
that.
telling me you literally just take like a 5-gallon bucket, like just shove your hand in there and then just pack the whole fucker with grease?
I don't know what the technique is. I've never done it. So, you know.
Well, I saw a
All
couple
speculation.
thumbnails for YouTube videos on how to grease your diffs, and that's what it looked like. The whole fucking thing was just
Packed
grease.
full. Huh.
So I don't know how effective it is. It'd be really cool if someone got a hold of us saying, "Yeah, I've done it." That'd be cool. You know,
Yeah.
get a little one.
Explanation.
I vote we
First-hand
just pack
experience.
Cody's Dana 30 full of grease and see what happens.
I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. We can do we'll
Well,
do both. We'll do.
Okay, I'll go.
No.
I'll get a 5-gallon bucket of grease, and you come to my bell, and we'll pack it there.
And we'll do ATF in the rear and grease in the front. See which one survives the longest.
We know the ATF would
Wait.
probably be okay.
Wait, so if we're putting ATF in the rear diff and grease in the front diff, can we fill the transmission with orange soda?
It is an AW4.
Well, first off, the AW4 only has 100,000 on it. Okay, that thing's still kicking.
I got
You wanna-
two extras.
You want to swap out
You
my
want one?
oil for orange soda? I'm in. I don't give a fuck. we can,
Perfect.
we can do that, but no, we're keeping the old transmission doing all right.
All right, fine. We'll fill the motor with the orange soda.
So-
Jesus
No,
Christ.
that's gross. We were not.
We were
prepared
at,
for that.
sorry.
No, it's just no.
Gotta flush
we're
it
at-
somehow.
Yeah, Richie, keep going. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we're up at Harlan, and my Jeep's overheating, and I'm getting pissed, so I cracked a beer, and I'm drinking the beer, and I'm dumping water bottles into my radiator with the Jeep running, and the water bottle ran out, so I dumped some beer down in there and dumped like 3/4 of a can of Yingling in there.
Mhm.
It didn't overheat for the rest of the weekend when it was running.
I'm
Wow.
so proud of you, Luke. You've managed to bring that up every single episode at least once since Harlan.
I don't think he's ever mentioned this little. I don't think he mentioned the little thing he was saying. He was like, "Some for me, some for the Jeep, some for me, some for the Jeep."
Get fucked.
He hasn't
Luke.
said
was
that,
great,
but
Richie.
he has brought up that fucking beer in the radiator every single episode.
It's
Yep.
probably because he's drinking a beer and he's thinking, "Damn, I'm not with my Jeep to
Yeah.
share. I'm alone. He can't share beer with anybody right now. Must be a
Yeah.
sad thing."
Morgan doesn't drink beer. She drinks Trulies and wine.
Well,
so, like,
Time you start switching up, and not by betting for the other team. I'm saying by drinking something else.
oh, shit. I got confused. I almost stuck my dick in her dad.
Oh shit! But yeah, I was gonna
so-
say, oh,
So,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. On
No.
Thanksgiving, talking about wine.
What? No,
on Thanksgiving.
Whoa.
What?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. We were just talking about putting dicks in dads, and now you're over here talking about family dinners. Okay.
Well, I was talking about wine because that was the last thing I heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep going.
But I was asked if I wanted to try some wine over at the in-laws, and apparently it's not proper etiquette to just grab the bottle and chug like you would a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, no, that's not how you do things. It's not how you do things.
Oops.
But
Oh God, you are such white trash. We need to get you in a double wide down here.
I would not say no to a double wide, okay? I have spent multiple weeks in really nice double wides, and they were nice.
I can't say I have. Not say I have. I've slept in some really shitty motels out snowmobiling in Vermont. Like, I'm talking like drunk ladies screaming at their husbands, throwing beer bottles at them. It's pretty sick. Never any double wides. I should give that a try sometime.
It was
they're
fun.
They're nice because some double wides are bigger than some available apartments, like in Torrington.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a double wide that's more than 800 square feet.
Oh yeah.
No, a single wide's like 850 square feet's what I'm living in.
Yeah, so
Like
double wide would be double that.
Yeah. We were looking at a property that had one of the pole barn style barns behind it and a double wide on 5 acres, and we're actually considering buying it because it's got a nice shop and it's got enough land that we could build a house and then take the double wide down eventually.
And the best part is, if you go to an area that has a bunch of double wides and shit, you are way less likely to end up having to deal with those snotty, bratty, uppity type people. Because, I don't want to live in a trailer.
Hold on. But if you buy more double wides, you could have your own rendition of Trailer Park Boys, and you'd be a sick main character. Just saying. Throw it out there.
I appreciate that.
I'm telling. Hey,
I don't know if I should be offended, but I'm taking it as a compliment.
Hey. I feel like that would be a hilarious thing. Like, get a couple of 4 double wides on like 10 acres with a big ass shop in the center and see just what kind of fuckery we could do.
Hey, I'm down for that. That sounds like a good time. Shit.
LS swap a Kia Sorento.
Kia Sorento.
That'd be kind of cool. You can get airbags for them. We could have it like slammed out hard parking with an LS. I'm in.
Or we could put Rockwell 2.5s under it.
Oh no! If we're putting Rockwells under anything, we're getting a fucking totaled Trackhawk from the auctions, and we're throwing 1 tons of Rockwells under it, and we're sending that thing. I feel like that'd be cool as hell.
I feel like we've talked about modding a Kia Sorento before.
We talked. There's a whole episode called "Putting 1 tons under a Kia Sorento." I don't know why.
Okay, so
why a Kia Sorento. I don't know why that's the car we picked on, but yes, it was.
It's probably the dad that Luke was fucking. Oh, sweet. I'm not the one getting made fun of. Thank you so much for this episode. Look at that. But, anyways, we can bring up a fun little fact that Graham learned before the episode.
Oh, yeah, he listens. So, I got off the phone with Sean, and he's been talking with me back and forth. He's been trying to figure out, he's trying to find a 60.
Sean, for the people that don't know?
Sean Pierce. He's the president of our club. He's been on the podcast in some of the early episodes. We
should have him back on.
Once he's done with once he's got his Papa Smurf 2.0 sort of set up, I'd love to have him back on to talk about, what's changed on that thing. But anyways, what?
Oh, no, carry on. I'll make my point after.
Yeah.
I have something to bring up afterwards too, so.
All right. Yeah. So anyways, he's been asking me, how do you identify at an 04 and down 60? Because, obviously 50s get thrown in the mix there, and people are trying to sell 50s as 60s because they don't know the difference. It's a whole big mess if you're looking within like that 3-4 year span worth of axles.
Mm-hmm.
So, I told him the tricks that, we've all sort of talked about, which is, the 50 has the casting for the pinion on the 60 on the top is smooth. It goes directly into the pinion. You know, what would you call that? The cylinder that the pinion comes out of from the main of the housing. It's got a slow, gradual slant. Yeah, the snout. It's got a gradual slant, whereas the 50 has a slant that then takes a nosedive and goes straight down like an inch or two before the end. Like that's like one of the minor differences just in the casting that you can tell. If you look up the actual casting number, I think it'll tell you more. I think, what did he say? It was like 226. That could be totally made up.
226 is 50. 248 is 60. It's the metric ring gear size.
There you go. So yeah, 226 casting.
Autism.
You can tell from the top of the pinion by the shape of the cast. There's a distinct difference.
Oh, where like the pinion output would be on the axle, there's a difference, and from where it goes from the center of the pumpkin to the output.
And once you know what you're looking for, it's easy to spot because people always take pictures of the cast, or usually with it facing upwards, the right direction. Have a picture of the top. If they have any angled like side picture of it, you can always tell right off the bat. So he was sending me pictures saying, "Is this a 60?" I was like, "Yes, that's a 60." See, it's slanted on the top, and I sent him a picture comparing the two, and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, so now I can identify them." So today, anyways, this is where we're going with this. He sends me a picture of a 50, and he's like, "Is this a 50?" Came out of an 01 F350. I said, "That's the 50 casting." I like 99.99% chance sure that is a 50, unless there's some casting thing that I don't know about. He was like, "Well, he was saying it was a 60." I was like, "Have him pull a shaft." It's like, because I thought he was buying it or trying to like get it for somebody, and I was like, "Well, if he's saying it's a 60, have him prove it. It's pretty easy."
Wait, why did Johnny do that when I literally told him that I
haven't told him it was Johnny yet?
Oh.
Anyways, so
I'll cut that, but hold on.
No, leave it. It's fine.
Why would he do that when I told him that I have a set of 1-ton fucking axles that some guy was offering us for $50 fucking for the both front and rear?
Because it's a kingpin front that's been narrowed to 62 inches.
Okay. All right.
No kingpin front. Still. I won't do it.
Okay. All right. I'll shut up and this will be cut. Anyways, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Leave it in. It's good tech.
Okay.
Good tech. I'm just a little upset that you kind of just ruined my story there. Granted, it was going slow as shit.
His name will be cut out.
No, don't cut it out. No, it's too late now.
It's gone. His name's gone. They don't even know his name anymore. It's gone.
Yeah,
you can't change that. It's gone.
It's not.
Oh, that shall not be Johnny.
As it turns out, this was not an axle Sean was trying to buy. This was JB's axle that he was going to put under his Jeep that he's been talking with me about planning. We've been planning putting the truss on this axle, doing all this work to this axle. It turns out it's a 50. So he may, I don't know, by the time he'll have made up his decision by the time this comes out. I've got an 04 and down 60 housing with a bunch of the parts. It sounds like he's got chromoly shafts and everything for his supposed 60 that was actually a 50 anyways, so he really just needs a housing, and I'm not in any rush to put that under the J20, so I may, trade him that in return for just get me another 04 or something, or find me an 05 for a reasonable price, and I'll, I don't know. We'll see, but that sort of sucks, Do some research, make sure you know what a 50 is versus a 60 if you're looking in that range, or just go 05 plus, like everybody says to do. But you don't have to be smart to build a 1-ton Jeep, so do what you want to do.
And you have to be kind of smart to buy a 1-ton Jeep, though, because something that Sean made a mistake on that I don't know if we've ever talked about on the podcast is that he bought his rig and then bought the tires from the gentleman in the understanding that they were stickies. He did not actually check them, and they turned out to not be stickies. For the people that don't know, what are the tips and tricks to telling if a tire is a sticky or if it's not a sticky?
On
the
research on the tires. Yeah, on the BFGs, it says not DOT legal on the side.
Okay. Is there any...
See, the thing is, with his, it was strange because only a couple of them said that, but they were all blue labels or red label or black labels, whatever they call them.
Blue labels.
Yeah.
For somebody looking, just look to see if it has a DOT stamp, or I mean, is there any other answer that you could roughly give?
So the thing with crawlers, red labels, if they're used and sort of old, which is kind of like the condition that Sean bought his tires in, they were old beat to shit tires. If you're buying old beat to shit crawlers, Luke, I think you told me this. All the crawlers are just retreads. The red labels.
They're not retreads. All BFG crawlers like to crack, and they will throw tread blocks off of the carcass.
I thought that was because they're retreads.
No, that's all tires. It's just due to the compound on red labels, they're notorious for cracking, and they'll like tear a lug off.
Yeah, like you can literally look at the ones that Luke had, and now I have. Like the lugs, you could probably like peel the lug. I don't know if you could peel it all the way off, but it's like peeling from the base of the lug out. Like it looks nasty. It looks like it's about to. It looks like the junkiest, shittiest tire in the world. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And they're hard as rocks. I mean, they've been in the sun long before I had them, and now they're sitting out in the cold. I'm doing them no favors. But
yeah, well, they're BFG stickies. They like, as long as the trail is not literally a mud bog, they'll work. Mm-hmm. It's retarded what those tires will put up with.
Good to know.
We'll see. It's got a massive one of them. I might need. No, actually, I don't think that one's leaking. That one's not leaking. There's this one that's got a massive slash. It's probably like 5 inches worth of sidewall that is just like slashed, and like I don't know. I think it kind of hit the actual bead. It doesn't. It holds air. I mean, it's got a big patch on the inside, but it looks horrible. That one was kind of sketchy to fill up. I was like, is this one gonna hold air, or is it gonna blow up? I don't know. It didn't blow up. It was fine.
Hey, that's perfect. If they work, they work. Run them. If not, sell them and say fuck them.
I'm sure they'll work. Just a matter of if I want to deal with them. Somebody will, if I don't want them.
Exactly. That's the best part about stickies is there's always a resale on them. So
I don't know. These ones are getting pretty close to the end of their life. Actually, no. 2 of them are okay. 2 of them are pretty bad. But I probably wouldn't get rid of them. I'm not one to get rid of things. It's kind of like, okay, well, I've got them in the back pocket, right? We can put the stickies on. Oh, we're going to Harlan? Yeah, let's put the stickies on. I don't know. Like, I just want to get a trip on them so I can see if they're just gonna absolutely suck and just lose all their air immediately. Like, and just I don't know how they haven't been used in how long, Luke? When was the last time those tires were used?
Well, I bought them sometime last year, and they came off of the rig 2 weeks before I bought them. And that
okay, so it's been a couple years.
It's been about a year.
Oh, okay.
That rig was at F&F 2 weeks before I bought the tires off of it.
All right. So they're not. They're on vacation. They'll be back in the spring. Yeah, they'll be good. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of Harlan, it sounds like Trail Trash is interested, and I know Dwight was interested, as well as Brad. So we might be having a pretty good trip. Plus, I've got a coworker that wants to come with us, and a buddy from my shooting club who has a YJ on 35s with a front locker that wants to come with us. So next year's Harlan trip is rapidly shaping up to be pretty dope.
Yay.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah, so Cody and Kish, you don't have an excuse for not having your Jeeps there.
I do. It's called money.
But you're no longer a poverty coney. Or
Coney?
Wow.
I'm a Coney Island kid. Yeah, I am because I gotta save up again. Then I can do it. But no, honestly, I definitely would say that the cage needs to go in before I really give a shit about driving long distance right now. That's kind of priority number 1 right now. Because I don't want to die. So, well, I do, but like, I'd rather not you guys get mortified by seeing a Cody pop like a tube of toothpaste.
And pop like a little blueberry.
Yeah, I'd rather you guys not have to go through that. So, yeah,
Oh, we appreciate that, Cody.
Yeah, well, Luke doesn't have to.
I don't know. I've seen.
Oh, yeah, you've seen a kid get run over, but
no. That's not where I was going with that. I've seen enough Cherokees roll that, like, unless you're barreling down a hill, I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay. Like,
Dude, everywhere that I hold on, you say that, but everywhere that I've almost rolled would have been horrible fucking places to roll every single time.
oh, I mean, there's never.
Well, I guess okay. So the one time that would have been all right would have been at Brookridge when I would have rolled passenger side because I mean, who fucking cares? Nobody's over there, and I'm just gonna fucking flop onto rocks. But at Mabel, when I was gonna go driver side, dude, there was a rock that was pointed like at my face that would have just killed me. But it would have been cool. So like, fuck it, right? Who needs doors anyways? I'll just take those off and pretend to be Curtis or something. I don't know. And then wheel twice a year. Marty has to
Pretending to be Curtis, I have to take the door off.
True, but I've already only wheeled twice this year, so like I'm halfway there already to Curtis. So
Yeah.
and then I just gotta rob
Curtis is
parts off
doing
of
better
people.
than you.
Curtis hit his quota. He's all done. He went on vacation. He's done.
Dang.
Done with Jeeps. Oh, speaking of that, I got to bug him about ball joint eliminators. Anyways.
Well, just don't listen to whatever his tightening regimen is. Don't follow it because his shit was always loose. So like, stick to your own regimens. Just you know.
I think we mentioned it before. I had to tighten all of his hex bolts on his cross member. Like he's got like 16 of the fucking
Christ.
things, and thank God because they were all loose.
Oh no, poor guy. He really does get shit on for no reason.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have all your bolts loose. And Luke's the same way. It's all these machinist people. They tighten it to the exact spec, which is never enough. You got to go like a little bit over. Not like
Always a little over. Just
you
a
don't
little.
have to
click
whole
pass.
hog the fucking thing in like third gear on the Milwaukee and snap the bolt off, but you know, go a little past like tight. You know,
I'm not
I
sure
don't want
which
those
is
fuckers
better,
to come
though.
off.
Well, I have to throw you back to Ducky. I snapped a rear link bolt off, and I snapped a front link bolt off from over tightening them, and they just gave up life. So I went to do the pre-trip inspection, and my bolt was like sheared off at the edge of the control arm. Which is better, it being loose or it being gone?
Well,
Hmm.
that comes.
Loose.
This comes
Yeah.
back into the equation of don't over tighten your bolts. Also, I personally took those links off of the rear ducky axle, and I will they were not on there very tight because that makes sense now because you were scared of snapping the bolts. Granted, you were using fairly small heims on the back of ducky, so the bolt was a little smaller than it should have been, I imagine.
16ths.
Yeah, I'd run bigger than that if I could. I
Oh.
feel.
Shit, I've got 1 1/4 Heims on the rear of my Jeep, or I'm sorry, 1 1/4 Johnny joints with 9/16.
I
Ruh-roh.
think-
That
I
feels
think
small.
mine are.
I
I
don't
think
know. Maybe
mine
the,
are
Oh, kitty cat.
9/16.
yeah.
Oh, there's
cat
a-
behind me.
When the cat walked into Graham's room, I totally thought the tail was a fucking chicken at first.
No, he's got a really puffy tail for some reason.
I was so confused why you had a fucking chicken in your house and you were just so calm about it.
It'd been worse if it was like a raccoon.
A chicken.
That would be crazier.
He
Just
kind of looks like an albino raccoon. Looks like an orange raccoon. It's very strange. Anyway,
shit.
Luke would be jelly at that point.
Oh, quick thing.
Yes.
Shout out to Caitlin. Tomorrow me and hers 4 years together. Kind of weird, but shout out to that. Just wanted to throw that out there because
aw, how cute!
knows?
A
Yeah.
wheeling podcast about your anniversary.
hey, she was a guest. Okay, she's not
Okay.
just a.
No,
so
well, I guess
fuck
you know everybody
Talking rude
listens
about
can
a
keep
guest.
up with your anniversary dates. Now they'll know. Well,
Now
maybe
they'll
this is just a ploy. You're trying to get everybody to say happy anniversary to you tomorrow or something.
No, because then they won't hear about this.
Oh, true. Shit. So
fuck 'em.
they're gonna listen to it, and no, I mean, because I'm spoiling it now. They're gonna say that, and then it's gonna be a week late, and you'll know who's
I'll
real and
take
who's not.
True. True. It was kind of like the 1 year episode. I got like 5 text messages of people saying, or the fuck I said, blueberries or something. 5 people being like, "Oh, you owe me a monster." Actually, speaking of which, I need to buy Ryan a monster because he listened to the end of the episode. But yeah,
I don't even remember that. What was that?
so at the end of after the fucking 4 hours or whatever it was for the 1 year episode, I told everybody that if they listened this far and they heard if they DM'd me blueberries, that they would get $5. And Ryan texted me saying blueberries. He was the first one to do it legit too, and I owe JB $5 as well, and Andrew, and a few others. But it's fine.
Just hand out money at this point.
Exactly. But,
yeah, by the way, disclaimer, if you're trying to collect on that now, that ship has sailed.
Yep,
Yep,
you're done.
No more of that. I mean, maybe if a random does, I'll consider it, but...
No, they're just cheating. They've listened to this one. Nobody listens to the old episodes. Nobody.
Although I am still shocked at how well that one did, considering how long it was.
True.
Like,
Nothing but complaints about the length, though.
True, I didn't hear any complaints.
What are you talking about? It was everybody who said it was too long.
I didn't hear it.
Granted,
from
my
who?
only peanut gallery is really Jacob. Jacob is
the biggest...
Jacob's like
I
the
mean-
editor. I hear when Luke fucks up every time. He's very critical of Luke.
It's because Luke is great and he expects better from Luke. Okay, that's all. That's all it is.
he's obviously wrong.
Exactly.
Because Jacob has a crush on Luke, okay?
Aw, that's cute. Hi, Jacob.
It's like back in grade school, little boy pulls the girl's hair. Same thing.
Well, just got weird.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
Anybody got anything else to say?
I am keen at making shit weird.
Great. Anyway. I'm uncomfortable. It's time for me to leave.
All right.
Shit.
Well, this
Yeah.
was a fun one.
Yeah, we got an hour and a half of random bullshit out. No, about hour and 25.
hour and 7, and that's just when
Oh.
our recording started. We're slacking. Anyways,
Fuck
it's a short one. Remember to check on your stepdad, make sure he's not stuck under any tables, and make sure you run water in your 205 if you want it to last.
Man, and if you
That
pack
was like
your gears,
so half-hearted.
and if you pack your gears of grease, let us know how it goes, or we'll tell you when we blow up my 30. Done? Are we done?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's done.
That was an awkward pause. We'll take it.